Her officials at the Home Office, they have apologised for getting it wrong. They're not denying that, and I think it's quite brave and big of them to say sorry. Not many politicians do that, actually. So she has apologised. They have admitted that they got it wrong. They should have perhaps spoken to survivors months ago rather than let it get to this point. But she is doing, and her team are doing their best to kind of undo the damage, if you like, and to move forward positively. I have sat with her over a number of hours, and I see in her a very determined but actually a very sincere person. You know, I mean, let's leave politics out of this. She wants to get this right. She's learnt a great deal, and she said she's learnt a great deal from talking to survivors. You know, Theresa May is not a survivor, thank God for that, but she needed to understand something about our concerns and about our sense of mistrust around this whole issue, and I think in her we have a woman who wants to get it right. So we'll give her plenty of slack until such time as it went wrong again, in which case she would be the first to know about it. I would expect that it will become a statutory inquiry. Again, the Home Secretary appears to have no problem with converting it into a statutory inquiry, and of course that would also afford her the opportunity to revisit the constitution of the panel, because it would have a different look to the one it currently has. I'm just really hopeful that things will move forward early in the new year, and I'm very glad that the media are keeping this issue in the spotlight, because it's about protecting our children in the future as much as looking at what went wrong in the past.
Merseyside Police, and I now have to brief you about the loss of one of my officers, Constable Neil Doyle. The briefing will be all that I have to say. The investigation is still at a very early stage as detectives try and ascertain the full circumstance of events. In the early hours this morning, Constable Neil Doyle, a married 36-year-old officer with 10 years police experience, lost his life. On behalf of everybody connected with Merseyside Police, I extend our heartfelt and sincere condolences to his wife Sarah and the rest of his family. Constable Doyle was enjoying a Christmas night out with his work colleagues. Around 3:15 this morning, Neil left the Peacock Bar and walked with two colleagues along Colquitt Street in the city centre. The three officers were subject to an apparently unprovoked and vicious attack by a group of males. Following intensive emergency treatment at the scene, Constable Doyle was taken to the Royal Liverpool Hospital, where sadly he died a short time later. His two colleagues suffered serious facial injuries. They have been treated for those injuries and have now been discharged from hospital. I would like to appeal directly to anybody who may have witnessed the incident, or indeed anyone who may know anything at all that may be connected to the attack. In particular, we would like to speak to anybody who was in the Colquitt Street area in the early hours and who may have seen something of value to the investigation. Anybody who does have information can call the investigation room on a free phone number 0800 230 0600, or alternatively the Crime Stoppers anonymous number 0800 555 111. Finally, I would like to place on record my gratitude to the paramedics along with members of the public who tried in vain to save Neil's life at the scene and who also provided aid to the two injured officers. I'd just like to give you some personal details about Constable Doyle. He joined Merseyside Police in May 2004, so he'd been a constable for a little over 10 years. An operational officer, well liked and respected by his colleagues, working most of his time in the Liverpool area. He's previously been commended for his actions when arresting three men in the face of a violent offensive robbery. He and his wife Sarah were married just 5 months ago in July, and were yet to take their honeymoon, which was planned for January. As well as Sarah, he leaves behind his mother Teresa and his brother Greg.